Hello Distinctive fam, welcome back to another video. Today I have a tutorial for you for this gorgeous face frame hat, and this is a fashion hat. It's not necessarily meant for warmth because it comes like just slightly above your ears, or may cover your ears a little bit but not all the way. So please keep that in mind when you're making this hat. It does give a beautiful shaping around your face, and that is the purpose of this hat. I was trying to get something different because I do like to wear my hats. And so I thought a nice fashion hat was needed, and that's when I came up with this design. So I hope you like the style of this hat, and I hope you'll come along with me on this tutorial to go ahead and make it together. All right, everyone. So my name is Priscilla, by the way. If you are new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button, and that way you can be a part of this distinctive family over here as well. And this tutorial is going to be very easy. There is the main stitch is something that might be slightly different for you, but it's not going to be difficult at all. The materials that you will need for this tutorial is at least 105 yards to 150 yards of yarn, just to have plenty on hand. You will need a pair of scissors, a 5mm crochet hook, and if you are checking out this gorgeous hook, this was made by Jess over at Jess Handmade. She does amazing work. I will leave her YouTube channel down below, so you can message her over there if you would like one of these beauties for yourself. And you will also need a couple of stitch markers. They're not necessary, but they are good to have on hand just in case you might need them. And also a yarn needle. All right, so the yarn that I'm using today is the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill Fiber. This is 186 yards. Let's see. This is the color Neutral Stripe. And I do believe it's a number 4. Yes, this is a number 4 worsted yarn, if I didn't mention that before. This hat is a one size fits most for teens and adults. But if you feel like you need a larger size or a smaller size, I would suggest changing your hook size. If you need to have it a little bit bigger, then go up a hook size. If you need it a little smaller, then try going down a hook size, or two, either way. So like I said, this is supposed to be a fitted hat, and it is a fashion hat. So it's not necessarily meant for warmth, although since it is made from acrylic yarn, it does provide warmth. All right, everyone, so I hope that is helpful as we navigate through this tutorial together. Let's go ahead and get started and make this gorgeous hat. Let me just clear out my materials. Okay, so to get started with this tutorial, the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go ahead and make an adjustable ring. Okay, so I lay the yarn over my 2 fingers and I wrap it around once, and then I wrap it around again and cross it over. Then I take my crochet hook, go under that first loop, and the yarn that we crossed over is what I want to grab with my hook. And then I kind of pinch that in place, release my fingers, grab my yarn for tensioning, and then I go ahead and make a slip stitch. All right, so that's all you want to do, just like that. And now you have your ring. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain up 1. What we are going to do is what is called a half treble crochet. So it's like you're making a treble crochet, but you're finishing it off as if it were a half double crochet. So hopefully you can kind of picture that. So all we're going to do is we're going to yarn over twice like you would do a treble crochet. We're going to insert our hook into the ring. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and finishing it off like we would a half double, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so that is the half treble crochet. So this is considered 1 stitch here. So now we're going to go ahead and make 11 more stitches into the ring. I'll show you a couple more and then I'll finish the rest off camera. All right, so we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to insert our hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up that loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through all 3. All right, let's do one more. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into the ring, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through all 3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish off so that we have a total of 12 of these. I have 3 more, so I just need to go ahead and make 9, and then I will come back and show you what to do next. All right, everyone, I made it back, and I have my 12 half treble crochets in the ring. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull on the tail of this ring to close it up, just like that. And now that we have our ring closed, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to that chain 1. So here we have our actual stitch, and like right here is the chain 1. So we're just going to go ahead and just show you a little closer. So we have the stitch here. This is actually the top of the stitch, and then here's the chain 1. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain 1, and that is what we're going to slip stitch into each time that we close our round. And if it's a little bit hard for you guys to see, that is when a stitch marker will come into place. So all you would want to do is just, when you get ready to chain 1, which we're going to do right now, you can just mark that, and then when you come back around to it, you know where to slip stitch to join the round. Okay, so that is recommended if it's hard for you to see. You can even just put that there and try a couple rounds, and then if you can easily recognize it, then go ahead and take it out. But that is where we are slip stitching into each time is our chain 1. So this was down here is where our chain 1 was from that first round. Okay, but this, we just chained up 1, so this is where we're going to need to slip stitch into when we come back around. All right, so the next round is going to be pretty simple. All we're going to do is we're going to put 2 half trebles crochet stitches in the 3rd loop. All right, so you have the front loop, the back loop, and then you have the 3rd loop, which is back there. All right, that's gonna pop the stitches forward, and that is what will give you this beautiful texture here. So definitely make sure you go into that 3rd loop so you can get this beautiful braided texture. If you don't do that, you might just get like 1 loop and it won't have this particular texture. Now, if you like that idea, go for it. But if you want to follow this exactly, you need to make sure you get that 3rd loop. All right, so let's go ahead and find it. Now, remember I was telling you that this is the chain 1 and this is the top of the stitch. That's important because that will help us find the 3rd loop for the first stitch. So we have the front, the back, and the 3rd right there. So what we want to do is we want to yarn over twice because this is our half trebles. We're going to go into that 3rd loop, which is set at the back. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. Okay, so when we come back around, you can see that this is our chain 1. That's where we're going to be slip stitching into the closed around, but this is the top of the stitch. Okay, it kind of leans on the side, but that's actually the top. So when you come back around, the 3rd stitch, or I'm sorry, the 3rd loop will be here. If you want to take another stitch marker and mark that as well to help you find it, you can. But having this one marked should be helpful as well. All right, so let's go ahead and add 1 more into that same loop. So we're just going to yarn over twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 3. All right, so we're going to continue that all the way around, making sure we find that 3rd loop. So we have our V here, and then that third loop right at the back. So we're just going to go ahead and put 2 treble stitches into the third loop of each stitch all the way around. And I'll just show you one more and then I'll finish mine off camera. So there's our third loop, and here's our second stitch. So now we're going to continue that all the way around, and we will be slip stitching in our chain 1 that we have marked. So I'll come back to share with you when I come and slip stitch that closed. All right, so I'll be right back. Everyone, I made it back and I have my 24 half treble crochet. So what we did was place 2 half treble crochet stitches into the third loop of each stitch around. So that will give us a total of 24 half treble crochets. All right, and now we are ready to slip stitch into that chain 1. So we have it marked right here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go right into it and slip stitch to close the round. Oops. We're going to slip stitch to close the round, just like that, and we're going to chain 1. So if you would like, you can go ahead and move your stitch marker up because that makes it a lot easier to see. If you feel comfortable, you can totally leave that out and just keep going. Now remember, I was telling you the top of the stitch for that first one is leaning to the side, so that is important. So what we want to do for this next round is we're going to increase again by placing 2 stitches into the first stitch, and then we'll just place 1 into the next, then 2 into the next, and 1 into the next, all the way around. So you should leave off with just placing 1 into that last stitch, and you should have a total of 36 half treble crochets. All right, so let me go ahead and get you guys started with this first stitch since it's leaning on the side. So there is where we slip stitch to close at the chain 1, and then here is that top of the stitch, and then right behind that is that third loop. So that's where we're going to be going. We're going to yarn over twice, go into that third loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through 3. So we'll do that one more time in the same stitch, just like that. And then that is our first increase stitch. Now we're going to go ahead and just place 1 stitch into that third loop of the next. And now we're going to do 2 half trebles into the third loop of the next. And we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So we're going to do 1 in this next stitch, and then 2 in the next. Okay, so just keep following that same pattern all the way around. You should end off with 36 stitches. So make sure you have 36 stitches before you slip stitch to close. And then I will go ahead and do mine off camera and meet you right back. All right, everyone, and I made it back. So I have my 36 stitches completed. So let's go ahead and slip stitch into that chain 1. Oops. That's closing that round. Now we're going to chain 1 and move our stitch marker up. Okay, and then here is the top of our first stitch right here, and then back there is that third loop. So as you notice, as you work around, the third loop kind of becomes easier to access. So it should help you to go a little bit, be a little bit more comfortable working into that third loop if this is something new for you. All right, so let's go ahead. This next round, we're going to do a similar technique. We're going to be increasing again. So the first stitch, we want to put 2 half treble crochets into that third loop. There's 1, here's 2. Okay, and then in the next 2 stitches, we only want to put 1. All right, so in this very next third loop, we're going to put 1 half treble. And in the very next third loop, we're going to put 1 half treble. And now in this next loop, we're going to put 2. All right. So that's the pattern. So we just put 2. Now we have to put 1 in the next 2. Okay. All right. So we put 2 in the next one. That's our increase. And then we're going to put 1 in the next 2. Okay. And then we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around until we finish off with, we should just be putting 1 in each of the last 2 stitches by the time we get around. Okay. And that should give us a total of 48 half trebles. So go ahead and work yours. I'll do mine off camera, and make sure you have your 48 stitches, and I will meet you right back to show you what to do next. All right, everyone, I made it back. So I have completed my increase round where I have a total of 48 stitches. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and slip stitch to close. We're slip stitching to that chain 1 to close our round. Then we will chain 1, and we are going to mark that chain 1 so we know where to go for next round. And now we're going to find the top of that stitch, which is right here. And we're going to do another increase round. And this time we are going to put 2 stitches into that first third loop, 2 half treble crochets. And then we're going to do 1 half treble crochet in the next 3 stitches. So here we have 1, we have 2, and 3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put 2 in this next stitch. We're putting 2 half trebles in that third loop of that next stitch. Okay, and we're going to repeat this pattern. So now we need to make 3 half trebles, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches, making sure we're going through that third loop. Okay, so we did our 3. Now in this next stitch, we need to put our increase and put 2 half trebles in that stitch. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue that pattern all the way around. So we just did 2. So now we have to do 1 in the next 3, and then 2, and then 1 in the next 3 all the way around. And that should give us a total of 60 stitches. Now on this next round after that, we are going to be doing something different. So make sure you come back so that I can show you what to do next. All right, so let's go ahead and finish our round putting, we did our increase, and now we're going to put 1 in the next 3 and then increase and continue that pattern all the way around. So we should have end off with these last 3 stitches, 1 in each stitch. And that should give us a total of 60 half treble crochets. All right, so meet me back to slip stitch to close, and then I will show you what to do next. All right, everyone, my apologies, but somehow my video cut out. But anyway, so here we are with our 60 half treble crochets. So we just need to slip stitch into that chain 1, and then you're going to chain 1. And for this round, we're going to go ahead and work 1 half treble crochet in each stitch around, maintaining our 60 stitches without any increase. So go ahead and work 1 half treble crochet in each stitch around and meet me back for the slip stitch. All right, thanks. All right, everyone, I made it back. So I just did my plain round, putting 1 half treble stitch in each stitch all the way around. And so I still have a total of 60 stitches. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that chain 1 to close our round. We're going to chain 1 and move up our stitch marker. And then for this round, this is going to be where we start our shaping for the hat. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 half treble crochet in the third loop of the first 29 stitches. All right, so just put 1 half treble in the first 29 stitches. we can do that together. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Here's our first one. 2, 3, 4, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, oops, and 29. All right, so we have our 29 half treble crochet. So what we're going to do now is in the very next stitch, we are going to put 9 half treble crochets into that third loop of that same stitch. All right, so right into this very next stitch, which is stitch 30, we're going to go ahead and put 9 half treble crochets all in that same stitch. So there's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6, here's 7, here's 8, and here's 9. Okay, so what you want to do now is if you have another stitch marker available, this isn't necessary because you can just come back and count when you come to the next round. But if you just want to keep things moving, you want to find that middle stitch. So it would be the 5th stitch of this 9 half treble crochet group. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you should have 4 on this side, the middle stitch, and then 4 on that side. And then what you want to do is take your stitch marker and mark that third loop, because that's where we're going to work into. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to mark the third loop of that 5th stitch of that 9 group half treble crochets, just like that. And then that is the spot we're going to work into for the next round. Okay, so all we have to do now is just continue on to finish the round. We're just going to put 1 half treble crochet into the third loop of each stitch for the remaining of this round. All right, so I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will meet you back to show you what to do next. All right, everyone, so I made it back, and I'm ready to go ahead and slip stitch to close to this chain 1 here. Now so the stitch count that we should have for this round is 68. And that is because we put an additional 8 stitches into that 1 stitch. All right, so we should have 68 stitches. So if you want to double check, go ahead and make sure you have 68. What we're going to do now is you're going to work all the way around till you get to the stitch marker. And in that stitch marker, you're going to put 7 stitches right into there. And these are the half treble crochets, the ones we've been doing. So you're going to put 7 half treble crochets right into that same stitch. And then you're going to make sure you find the back loops of these stitches as well and work into those half treble crochets in the third loop, okay, to finish off the round. And at that round, you should have a total of 74 stitches. But what I'll do is I'll just come back when I get to the stitch marker and increase with you guys, and then let you know how to finish that round. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and work 1 half treble crochet in each stitch around, including these stitches that we increased here, until I get to this marked stitch, and then that's where I'll come back. So go ahead and meet me there, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone, I made it back around. So as you can see, I put 1 half treble crochet in the third loop of each stitch until I got to my stitch marker, including these increased ones here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put 7 stitches into that marked stitch. So we're going to put 7 half trebles. So yarn over twice and insert your hook. All right, just like we've been doing before. So there's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, just double check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what you want to do is you want to take your stitch marker out and find that 4th stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Find that 3rd loop and mark it. And then this is the stitch we'll be working into the next round. Okay, so all you have to do now is just go ahead and put a half treble in each stitch around to finish off the round. And then I will meet you back to slip stitch into that chain 1 when I finish my round. Okay, so go ahead and put 1 half treble in the 3rd loop of the remaining stitches, and I will meet you right back. All right, everyone, so I made it back around and we're ready to go ahead and slip stitch into our chain 1 to close the round. And then we're going to chain 1 and move up our stitch marker. Now finishing off that round, you should have 74 stitches. And for this round, we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to work 1 half treble all the way around till we get to our marked stitch. And then I will meet you back there to show you what to do next. So just 1 half treble in each stitch until you get to the marked stitch. So go ahead and do that and meet me right. All right, everyone, so I made it back around to the marked stitch, putting 1 half treble in each stitch. So what we're going to do now is in the marked stitch, we're going to put 5 half trebles. Oops. So here's 1. Oops. Here's 2. Here's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now you can actually take this stitch marker off because we're not going to be using it anymore. Oops. And now all we're going to do to finish off the round is put 1 half treble in each stitch around. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back at the end of the round. All right, everyone, so I made it back to the end of my round, and now I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to close the round into that chain 1. And then I'm going to chain 1 and move up my stitch marker. So at the end of this round, you should have a total of 78 stitches. And that is the stitch count that we will maintain from now on. So what we're going to do for this round is we're just going to put 1 half treble crochet in each stitch around and maintain that 78 stitch count. and then I will meet you back to show you what to do next. So we're just putting 1 half treble crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch around. Oops. And then I will meet you back when I come to the end of the round to show you what to do next. All right, everyone. So I did make it back all the way around, but I just wanted to give you a little view of what it should be looking like. And all we did was just 1 plain round of the half treble crochets in the 3rd loop of each stitch around. So this is what we have so far. We are pretty much done with the shaping of the hat. All we're going to do now is add on a little bit of a brim. You just need to work 2 rounds of half double crochets in the 3rd loop of each stitch around, and that will just give us a nice little finish for like a brim for this hat, and just to give it a little bit more length. Now if you feel like you're not going to have enough length with just the 2 rounds, go ahead and try the 2 rounds and then try it on, and if you think you need another round or 2, then go ahead and do that. This is pretty much the end of the tutorial, so you can finish off your hat however you like, but I just for me, I know I'm going to need just 2 rounds of the half double crochets in the 3rd loop of each stitch around. And you have to remember, this is a fashion hat. It's not meant to like cover your ears or anything like that, because this does go just above or slightly over your ears. So it's not that kind of a hat. So you don't want to make it too long. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch to join into this chain 1, and then we're going to chain 1 and move our stitch marker up, and then we're just going to place it into that chain 1. And now all we're going to do for these last 2 rounds is we're going to yarn, we're going to do half double crochets in the 3rd loop. So you just yarn over, insert your hook into that 3rd loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. All right, so that is how you do a half double in the 3rd loop, just like that. So we're going to put 1 half double crochet in each stitch around for the next 2 rounds. So I will meet you back when I have my 2 rounds completed. So I'm going to go around, make sure I slip stitch into my chain 1, and move my marker up, and then complete that round 1 more time. I will meet you back then to show you to finish off and show you what the hat looks like. All right, everyone, go ahead and do your 2 rounds of half double crochets in the 3rd loop, and then meet me back when you get done. All right, everyone, I made it back around. So I did my 2 rounds of half double crochets in the 3rd loop. So now all I need to do is go ahead and slip stitch to join into my chain 1. And now I did already cut my yarn, but if you haven't done so already, leave a long enough tail for you to weave in, and then go ahead and cut your yarn so that you can just pull through and finish off. And then you can also remove your stitch marker, and then use your yarn needle to go ahead and weave in those ends, and then you will be all finished with your gorgeous face frame hat. All right, everyone, so please let me know in the comments down below if you followed along with me and made one of these for yourself. Also, if you would like to be a part of this distinctive family over here, take this awesome opportunity right now to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, the notification bell, so that you will be notified anytime I upload new tutorials or content that you would enjoy. And also, please go ahead and give this video a like, and stay tuned for the picture of me wearing the finished hat so that you can see how I style it. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one.